Christina Trucks on the outside in 6. See how things pan out as they come off the turn. It is Trucks and Cheney. Trucks and Cheney.
Hey, Autumn Athletes, Larry Sorensen here, and today I'm going to connect with Christina Trucks to find out what makes her an Autumn Athlete that's not done yet. Before we get started, please remember, if you enjoy our content, like, subscribe, and ding that bell for notifications. Okay, Christina, let's get started. First of all, thank you so much for joining us. Why don't you start us off with an introduction of yourself?
Hi, I am Christina Trucks. I am 40 years old as of 3 weeks ago. I am a mother of 3, and I am married to my high school sweetheart, Anthony Trucks. And we have 2 pets and live in Concord, California.
Why don't you fill us in a little bit on your athletic history?
I started sports pretty young. I was probably about 7 or 8 years old, but I always played team sports. I grew up playing soccer and softball. I actually didn't even know about track. It was always soccer year-round or softball year-round, or when one ended, the next one started. And I was always the fast girl, though. So I was always the one that myself and my stepsister, she was defense in soccer, and I was always the striker. And we were known as the Fast Sisters, and everybody always wanted us on the same team. I had lots of speed from a really young age, but used it during softball and soccer.
Did you do any competitions before you got into the Masters?
Well, so I had my son really young. I was playing, I started out at UC Davis. I was playing just some intramural soccer just to kind of stay in shape, but focus on academics. And then I was still with my high school sweetheart at that time. So I ended up following him up to the University of Oregon, where he had a full ride football scholarship up there. So I couldn't ask him to come down and follow me. So I went up there, followed him up there. And by sophomore year, I got pregnant. So that was kind of the end of my, my sports and kind of doing anything for myself as far as athletics. So I had a big break in sports. And then I had my twins pretty young too, 24. And around 30, I found Spartan races and triathlons and all that long distance fun stuff. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't know about Masters track yet. So for a few years, I did a half Ironman, which was terrible because I'm not a swimmer. The biking and the running was okay, but I did that after that half Ironman. I'm like, I don't know if I really ever want to do that again. And then Spartan races were fun because same around 30, I got back into the gym, got into fitness. I was pretty strong. And then I still could, sprint short distances. So I was doing Spartan races, and I was doing the triathlons just to kind of stay in shape. Just that competitive edge from high school, it just never left. Even back in high school, actually, I did finish off my senior year with the Senior Athlete of the Year. And so I was very competitive. I've always had the competitive spirit, even between 19 and 30, when I wasn't doing any organized sports. Even family bowling or family mini golf was always just very competitive. That was where I got my competitive fix. And so then I got to 35, and perfect age, 35, I met Joy Upshaw. And so I think everybody kind of in the US Masters world knows Joy Upshaw, and she's amazing. And so we were looking for a hurdle coach on some app that we have. I forget what it's called. And we came for my son. And we actually came across her sister, Grace, who was an Olympian with long jumping. And Joy actually helped coach her through those Olympics and long jumping. So Grace said, well, I don't do hurdles, but my sister does. So my son went out there and he did one session with her. And while we were out there, she's like, hey, we can all just run together. And so my husband and I were out there running too. And she says, have you ever heard of Masters Track? And I had no clue what that was. And she said, well, it's for 35 and up. And we compete, nationally and worldwide, or we just do local meets and we just have fun and we all run and compete again. And I said, as in like I can run the 100 and 200 again and not have to do these half Ironmans for 70.4 miles of swimming, biking, or running. Sign me up. So just how that all fell into place was, I mean, for so many things to happen, my son hurdling and where we were, and we had just recently moved to the area that we're in now, which is next to Joy. And just to find out about Masters Track right at 35 was just perfect timing. And then Joy has these connections to the local junior college around here. And the conversation came up one day and she says, so you never ran in college. You had your kid really young and you never ran after that. So she goes, technically, don't you still have eligibility? I don't know. I mean, I finished school. I have my master's from Oregon, bachelor's and master's. And I said, well, I mean, if my clock never started with athletics, then I'm pretty sure, I guess. And so she connects me with a local junior college coach who I didn't know, but happens to be my son's youth track coach too. It's a small world. Once you get into track, especially locally, everybody knows everybody. So then I get connected with her, and I happen to be going with Joy to all comers down in LA area, which is about 5 hours from us that weekend. And the junior college coach says, okay, well, what are you running this weekend? And I said, well, the 100 and the 200, maybe the 400, but probably not. And she said, okay, well, when you get back, let me know what you run and we'll go from there. And I said, okay. So I get back and I think I ran like a mid 27 in the 200 and maybe like a low 13 in the 100. And she says, okay, well, I mean, we could work with that. If you really want to, we could see what we have to do for you to be on our team. And so I said, okay, well, I guess I'm going to go back to school and run college track. And my husband's like, you have to do it. Like, you do it. You supported me all those years. I got you. We can make this work. Just do it. And I find myself at mid 30s running college track for the junior college. It was like, okay, well, let me just dabble in there. Like, I don't have to go to meets or anything, but that'd be cool to just get some training and learn how to run.
Yeah.
And so the preseason fall, finishes up. And so the coach goes, are you really not going to run with us? And I was like, well, you've taught me so much in the last few months. I was just kind of trying to get prepared for Masters Track. He's like, just give it a try. Just put the uniform on, do it. And then I just got to experience the relays, the 4x1, the 4x4. And I was like, okay, this is fun stuff. And it was competitive and I was competing again. And so, after that, first year went by and I was like, okay, am I going to do this again? And like asked my husband, it was pretty, tightened our schedule a little bit and took me away from the family. And he says, one more year, like we're here, we're already doing it. I got you, just do one more year. So both years I ended up going to states and finishing in the 400, my first year, third, and then the second year, second. And I never thought I'd be a 400 runner, but I ended up last year I got my 400 time down to 55.94. So that was something I definitely never thought would happen. Yeah. And so, yeah, that actually is my college athletic career, which almost passed, but didn't. So I was able to do some college running.
Did you have any real physical issues or setbacks along the way? Obviously, you took a break when you had your children, but were there any other issues along the way, or have you had any issues recently that you have had to overcome?
Yeah, I think that had to do with running college track too, is keeping up with, the 18, 20-year-olds out there. Some piriformis, which I didn't even know what the piriformis muscle was until maybe 2 years ago, but that pain in the butt, literally. And so I was dealing with that for a long time. And this year I haven't felt any of it. So I'm happy about that. A little bit of tight Achilles pain that was stemming from some plantar fasciitis, I think, but that's kind of under control. So this nationals, I actually felt great. Everything. And we always say as masters athletes, if we leave a meet and we are injury free, like that's a win in itself because it's always something. And then something heals and it's the next thing. As of right now, health wise and injury wise, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. And I'm excited about that. And I'm knocking on some wood.
Give us an idea of your your achievements, not just this weekend, but, achievements all along. And then also your personal bests and some of the events that you do run in.
Greensboro last summer was my first ever outdoor nationals. And then this past weekend was my first ever indoor. And then I'm from California, so this was about my 5th time ever even running on an indoor track in my entire life, especially because I didn't do, track out of high school. And so I'm still getting used to the banked tracks. It's definitely different being in the blocks on those curves. But nationals in Greensboro was my first, and I was 39, and I actually pulled the trifecta. And so I did win the 100, 200, and 400. And then we went with our 4x4. We actually got an American record in Greensboro. And it was just really fun being able to compete again at a high level and being around tons of people who love to talk about track as much as I do.
Yep.
So that was a great experience outdoor. And indoor, I had some goals. Going into this indoor nationals, I was hoping we had a really good 2 relay teams. We're going for 2 world records for the women's 35. And then my 400 individual, I was going for the American record. Start with that one. So the 400 record is for American women's 40 is a 57.40. And I ran a 57.48. Even the announcer says just shy of an American record. And the bummer was a couple months ago, I actually went to Spokane on the indoor track, and I did run a 57.21. So I'm like, oh, I'll be ready by nationals. But I think the pressure that I kind of put on myself, knowing that this was my one shot since I'd turned 40. And if I didn't get it this time, I got to wait till, next indoor season, which is until December. So I was really, I was pretty nervous before the race. And I think that probably had to do with a little bit of why my legs locked up at the end. I kind of got wobbly knowing I'm chasing the clock for that time, but I still won. So I was the women's 40, 400 national champ. So I was excited about that still, but just shy of the American record. But one race at a time. So I had to shake that one off because then we had the 4x2 coming up, and we did get that one by just over a second. So I think the world record going in was a 142 point something, and then we got a 141. Okay. So we broke the world record with our 4x2, and that is definitely something I never thought I'd be doing at 40 years old, is going after world records. Yeah. But that's pretty awesome that we did get that one. Then we finished off the meet with the 4x4, and we broke that world record by 5 seconds. So that was really exciting. Growing up, playing team sports, it's fun winning an individual gold, but winning or breaking a world record with a team, it was just all of us like some of us were meeting face to face for the first time. And so I feel like we're all like bonded for life now. And we're just like the hugs after the win and after breaking the record. It's fun to celebrate with a team and just know that everybody did their job. Everybody pulled their weight, and it was just really exciting.
So
yeah.
Speaking of the team aspect, you want to give a little shout out to the other ladies on those relays?
Yes. So I definitely want to give a shout out to our 4x2. We had Amanda O'Connor, Easter Grant, and Sharika Giscombe. And also on the 4x4, Sharika was running that with me too. And then we had Christina Elder, and I had just met Christy Matthews for the first time, she's awesome. And she broke the world record in her 50 age group this past weekend, running a minute flat, like 1:00:00. And I'm super proud to just be on the team with them. And it was exciting. It was really exciting.
Okay, so you've had a very successful indoor season this year. What are you shooting for now? What are your goals that you're going to be training for next?
Yeah, so it's outdoor, and I'm really excited about outdoor this year because outdoor nationals are in my backyard. It's compared to Greensboro having to fly across country, Chicago, that was a good 4-hour flight. And now I'm a 1-hour drive from Sacramento. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited to sleep in my bed for a few nights during these outdoor nationals. But my 400 is my main event, and I do want to go for that outdoor American record, which is a 56.90. And I hope to run at least a low 56 this season. And if I can get that outdoor to a 24, that'd be great too. And if I could break the 100 and my best right now is a 12.11, which I've ran a few times. If I can get that 11.99, that would be sweet too. So just to see that sub 12.
So is the 400 really your marquee event in your mind, or?
It is. I think so. I think where I'm at ranked nationally and even worldwide in the 400 for a 40-year-old. And like I said, last year, my PR was a 55.94. And if I could get to a 55, that'd be even great too. But as long as I can, I'd be happy with a 56.0. The 56.0 this year will get me the American record, but also the 200, I've ran one time. I ran under 25. So I'd like to get a couple 24s. But yes, I'd say I'm more of a 200, 400 runner. This weekend, a couple of people tried to talk me into, have you ever tried 800? I'm like, no, and I never will. It's not my thing.
Because I was a 400 guy and I'm always interested. Do you have do you know your splits on some of your best times? What are you running? For
my 55.94, I know my, they're further apart than they should be. So we were actually talking, that's something else I was talking about this weekend, is I want to get it closer to like a 27, 29. But right now I run a 26. What would that be? 26. Well, because it was a 57 this weekend, it was 26.31. That's too far. I want to get those close. That's my goal this season, is to get those closer. And like I said, if I can get that 56.0, that'd be great. And that would be being able to run closer splits, saving some of that energy for the end, because right now I just come out a little bit too hard and then I have nothing left in the tank that last 50. So yeah, that's a 27.29 is the goal, because right now that 26.31 is, yeah, the 31's, it's not a good look. Yeah. Well, the hard part too for me personally is getting that race pace down, that race model down indoor. Yep. Because I know my marks to a T on the outdoor tracks. And then, the exchange zone over there, where second and third leg were exchange, I use those arrows to, okay, I feel good here. Okay, let me kick at the next arrow. Yeah. And so I have those marks down of where I'm going to blast and float and then pick it up. Yeah. And then indoor, I had it in mind. I said, okay, I think there were just cones that were sitting on the side. I said, okay, when I get to those cones right there, that's when I'm going to pick it up. Yeah. And then I never did. I don't know where the cones were during my race. Everything just blanked out, and I probably, yeah. So indoor, just getting used to, obviously it's the same 400 meters, but just where I'm going to kick and where I'm going to float and where I'm going to blast to is just different, because I think that was my 5th time being on an indoor track and only my 3rd time being on a banked track. So it's different here in California. We don't have those indoor tracks to practice on all the time. So
you're having great success. Tell us how you're doing that. Give us an idea of your training regimen.
Well, it's really just balance, because like I told you before, I'm a mom too. I run a business. It's just, I have a lot going on, but it helps because I actually coach the college track here too. And so I'm going to be out there every day anyway at 3:00. So that pushes me to get to the track and go do my workout before I'm going to start coaching, because some days I don't want to get up, but then I'm like, I'm going to be out there with my athletes anyway. So just go and get it done. So that's a little bit of a motivation just to get me out to the track. But I pretty much lift twice a week, Monday and Friday. I'm on the track Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is a recovery day. And then I'm back on the track Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday is recovery day. So I'm at the track a lot. But all the days look different. Some days are plyos, some days the volume's higher, other days are speed work. So everything's a little bit different. But I'm on the track about 4 to 5 times a week. And then I'm in the weight room twice a week.
So I always ask the track folks here, give me one of your go-to, let's say 400-meter workouts. What, we're going to the track today and it's the one you like to do and you get the most out of it. What's it going to be?
A love-hate Monday workout is a 5-4-3. So with minimal rest, maybe 4 to 5 minutes rest in between. And it hurts, but then after you're like, yeah, I just did that. It feels great after, but not during. Even though 500 isn't terrible, but then when you start to get that butt lock, your legs don't want to move for that 4, and then you're like, and then I still have a 3. And a 3, sometimes I don't even take the full rest because I get stiff and I need to get out. But a 5-4-3 is my go-to Monday workout. But that's about it. I don't go too much higher in volume than a 5-4-3. I'll do some repeat 300s sometimes too, but yeah.
Okay, so a lot of exercise, a lot of intensity, but you got to fuel the body. So give us a quick idea of your approach to diet and nutrition.
Well, I'm the type of person I packed. I was just talking to Joy Upshaw about this morning. I packed half of my luggage was my normal foods. I don't like to change anything during meat week. I brought all my snacks. I don't change anything. I do my protein shake in the morning, and then I'll do egg whites. Kind of mid-morning, I'll do egg whites with some sweet potatoes for carbs. But I just overall very clean. I eat pretty clean, which is hard when I have 3 teenagers and my husband, he played football. His playing days are over, so he kind of just eats whatever he wants down too. So mom usually has a different plate at night, to be honest. And just a couple years ago, I started, and I like it, but I've moved to pescatarian, and I feel good. I have a lot of energy. I don't do meat, but yeah, I do it all in any kind of seafood. Yeah, I just very clean, not a lot of processed foods, lots of fruits, lots of veggies, and a lot of seafood and protein shake.
So if you're going to go off the rails for a minute, what would it be?
We did. We went out after on Sunday. My husband and I hit downtown Chicago, and we had Chicago style pizza. Mine was vegetarian, his was all meat, but we had the deep dish Chicago style pizza. So pizza, I really love pizza, and anything fried, fried onion rings, French fries, fried fish, fried crunchy, anything crunchy, but also chips, anything chips, or I have a lot. I actually have a lot. So I definitely treat myself after season. Pretty strict during season, but come off season. So after August and September are pretty fun months where I'm just lifting heavy and eating whatever I want before I reel it back in to get ready for indoor and then outdoor. But cheesecake, ice cream, sundaes, ice cream with hot fudge, all of it. Yeah. So we went to ice cream. What was it called? Maybe Killiman's, I think, somewhere in Chicago. But it was ice cream, and I made sure to put hot fudge on top of it and didn't hold anything back. So I have a sweet tooth, and I like fried stuff and crunchy stuff. Yeah, all of it.
That was a long list.
I love food. I'm strict when season is in, but I do love everything.
What would you say is your general secret sauce to health and fitness?
I would have to say balance, because like I still enjoy lots of different kinds of foods. But even balancing my family. So balancing my family, my kids all run track too. So then we use that time to all go to the track together, whether it's balance with food, balance with health and fitness and workouts, or balance with sleep. I make sure that everything is very balanced.
We do a little rapid fire, and this is kind of a one or the other. So now you already mentioned you had dogs. So unfortunately, my first question, I guess I'll ask it anyway. If it came to pets, would it be dog, cat, or rock?
Definitely dogs.
Yeah,
Yes.
kind of figured that
So
one.
I have two
Okay.
of them.
So how about fancy car? Would it be hardtop or convertible?
Convertible for sure. Yes, convertible.
All right. When it comes to meals, breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Dinner. Big dinner.
All right. Now we're going to go for entertainment, find out what you like there. So would it be concert, Broadway, or a movie?
Probably a concert. That'd be fun. Yeah.
Who would be the concert if you could go to any one concert? Who would you want to go see?
Well, we had a lot. My husband and I, we actually just went to the Super Bowl, and Usher performed, and he's from like our high school days, and so we had a blast watching Usher. So anybody back from the early 2000s would be fun.
Yep. All right. That's a good one. Okay. Last one. And now that I know that your husband played football, I don't know, but we'll see how you answer this. So pro sports, if you had to watch one, what would it be besides track and field, of course, if you had to watch one? Football, basketball, baseball?
I actually would go with baseball. I am a diehard Giants fan. So yeah, most of my family thinks it's my kids and my husband think baseball is boring, but my mom and grandparents, they're all diehard Giants fans, and we love baseball and going to spring training in Arizona and all that fun stuff. So
Okay.
yeah.
Very interesting. All right. So we're going to close this up. I want to say thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us today. I just want to give you a minute to address our audience and give us any final thoughts.
I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be a part of the Masters athletics. I can't wait to meet more people. I think that's one of my favorite parts about Masters right now is everybody just being so welcoming. I said that after my experience with Greensboro. Everybody's just so encouraging and welcoming and cheering each other on. And I just love the camaraderie and the community of Masters track.
There you go, folks. Christina Trucks, an autumn athlete that's not done yet. Remember, keep moving, set your own goals, and train hard to achieve them. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.